I'm Owen, I'm the Cutaway poser, and I want you to stay tuned for the best of Cutaway.
And I'm Brett Dixon.
And welcome to the Best of Cutaway.
To this date, Cutaway has produced over 7 shows featuring over 50 stories on this local cable TV station.
And this is the end of the year show, or depending on when this airs on your station, maybe the beginning of the year. Well, whatever the date, Brett and myself are going to be trying to entertain you with the best of 1986.
Cutaway was originally produced to present video segments that rarely get seen on commercial TV. But over the past few weeks, the show has developed into a fairly popular magazine show featuring stories from both commercial and non-commercial TV. Our most popular stories seem to have been from the Alameda High School file.
Alameda High has been providing stories for us for just about all our shows, and in October we went behind the scenes of their television class.
For our first story, let's take a second look at Suzanne Soria's TV media class.
I'm going to want a shot down the aisle. We'll work out with these have outlets plug in.
The Alameda High School TV Media Operations course is under the direction of Mrs. Susan Soria. The ROP Careers Program of California Schools funds the project. Both high school students from Encinal and Alameda High School attend the course in the newly remodeled TV studio on the campus of Alameda High School.
We only have one commercial, hurry up.
Okay, just go over here. Dan, go back to
United Cable of Alameda donated the equipment and provides them with an educational channel to air their productions. Students have the opportunity to experience TV production in all its phases and work with some state-of-the-art television equipment.
The equipment being in the television studio now compared to a couple years
Jerry
ago.
Vargas, a former student and now a teacher's aide with the class, interviews Mrs. Soria. She says it was a hard struggle to get the course geared up the past 3 years.
A number of reasons. Number one, last year when we had only one VTR and one camera, we were limited in what we could do. Even though we did do quite a bit, it was not like a production studio. Today, we're able to do all kinds of things. Kids are learning how to edit. They're learning how to direct in-studio productions. They're learning more things, and we're doing more because of the equipment. So it really hurt us last year not to have the equipment, or actually for 3 years not having the equipment. It really hurt us. But it's been great having it. Some of the things that the students do are cooking shows. We're doing music videos this year. A new show. We're going to be working on movie promos, and we're going to be doing a variety of things. It's going to be exciting this year.
Students say they are pleased with the TV experience they are getting while attending high school.
So I thought it might, give me an idea of what I wanted to do once I graduated. And I thought maybe even if I wasn't interested in it, it'd still, give me a talent that I knew that maybe I could use sometime later in my life.
Shooting the programs in class is kind of fun, up in the booth with all the technical equipment. You get a lot of experience there.
I'm Mike Williams, and he's Brett Dixon, and you're watching the Best of Cutaway.
That last story featured students from Alameda High's TV class.
And most of the stories they've done have been all good, but probably the most popular of all has been the story on high school hair fashions.
And it was produced in 1985 by 2 Alameda High School students. Let's take a second look at it.
Have you ever wondered what the latest hair trends are in high school today? We took an inside look at some of the more radical hairstyles and the students who dared to be different.
No one else at this school anyway really has this hairstyle, you know, so I feel just different.
The hairstyles worn by teens are influenced by many sources, such as rock artists, fashion magazines, or whatever expresses their individuality.
We're not having any influence. We're just our own, what we feel we do. Like if we feel like doing something to our hair, we just do it. We don't think twice about it. We just do it. A lot of people don't like it because it's different than everyone else's, and they can't accept that. And so they'll be, they'll say like, grow your hair or something like that.
And with the ever-changing hairstyles of today, will these people's hair change with the times?
Definitely, I won't have the same haircut for very long. I know it never lasts, and I always change it. I get tired of it.
So, do you remember when Mike was the Cutaway magician? I think he still is. Mike, do you have a trick that you'd like to show us today?
Yes, Brett. I just happen to have a deck of cards, and I'd like you to pick it out for me.
Just anyone?
Yeah, sure. Now, I have a pair of scissors. Here you go. Just cut that for me. Just cut it up in pieces.
Just cut it.
Make a mess, Brett.
Okay.
Remember? Yeah, you do that quite well.
Thanks, Mike. It's good. I don't know. I've spent years laboring in a scissor can.
Bet you practice a lot.
Yeah, I do, actually. I just sit at home and just get out a fresh pack of cards. Here you go, Mike.
Thanks. Now what we're gonna do, take this deck of cards and just put it right on top of my hand. Can you see that? Okay, now what we're gonna do is kind of shove it into my left hand. Now, Brett, Now it's time for you to do your little portion of this trick. I want you to say the magic words, Schlottensberry.
Schlottensberry. What does that mean?
Well, it means disappear in Hungarian. So on the count of 3, can you say that for us?
Yeah, okay.
1, 2, 3.
Schlottensberry.
And it's gone.
How do you do that, Mike?
Well, it just comes natural. It's magic. Well, for our next story, we're going to have one of our staff members, Herb Bennett, show us his work.
Herb produced a lot of pieces just for our first 6 shows, and perhaps the most memorable is the one he did for the Uptones on for their new single, The Outback.
And this version of the video, Outback, is very special, so let's take another look at it.
But I can see what's going on.
Uptones appear January 2nd at Wolfgang's. And depending on when this airs on your station, it may already be January 2nd. But it's a great show, live entertainment, and I highly recommend it. So check your local listings and find out where they're playing in your area.
You're watching the best of Cutaway, right? You're saying that Cutaway has been on the station for only 3 months. But during that time, we have had a lot of stories from our contributors. And the first one we want to share with you is from Simon.
Simon's 12 and in the 7th grade at Wimpton Junior High School. He's our junior reporter here on Cutaway, and he really gets into his stories.
Let's take another look at the story he did on cartoon toys. I think this is one of his best.
Hi, I'm Simon Tingstrom. Welcome back to my segment. Today I'm going to be talking about how toy manufacturers use cartoons to sell most of their toys. Some shows use their shows to sell toys, like Mask, Rambo, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and etc., etc. The toy companies think by showing the toys in action, they can promote their sales and make a bigger profit. I don't really like the way this happens because the show is like a 30-minute commercial. Perhaps it would be better if the creators of the animated show thought more about the content of the show than if the toy will sell. A lot of the toys are designed first, and the cartoon is created later. Thereby, the creators of the animated show would be concerned more about what the toy does. And with the holidays coming up, you know kids are going to ask for their favorite cartoon toys. This concludes my segment on toys and how the consumer uses cartoons to sell their toys. I'll be back next time on Cutaway. Be sure and watch.
Simon is here every week on Cutaway, and we'll be back next time with a story about laser tag. I'm Brett Dixon, and he's Mike Williams. And so, Mike, what do we have next planned for this best of Cutaway?
Well, Brett, you haven't had the pleasure in meeting one of our main contributors here on Cutaway, Emmett. And I have to say, he's got a personality that is kind of off the wall, you might say, wild. Well, it just adds the edge to the show. And in November, he gave us a show on art and skateboarding, and this is how it looked.
Hi, welcome to my segment of Cutaway. My name is Emmett, and I'd like to welcome you to the show again. Today we'll be talking about skating and different ordinances. Skateboard is becoming very popular again, although I'm sure it never lost it for hardcore skaters. Ramps are becoming more popular also. This one is in my backyard. There's other ones in San Francisco on Pochero Hill. I've heard of a big one in San Leandro. I know of a big one out in Richmond. Empty pools are really popular. There's one out in East Oakland, out off Edwards Avenue, and there's a couple in Lafayette that I went to skate yesterday, but there was water in it, so we couldn't skate it. Gateway, which is a big drainage ditch. Anything that you want, you could skate. If it's a bank or if it's a slope or anything. Curbs on the sidewalk, you can catch slides on them. And just use your imagination. And if you see it, skate it. And if you hurt yourself, well, you're okay. You got to get better at it. A lot of accidents are happening, and the police are worried, you might say, or just apprehensive of skating and skating on the sidewalk and in the street. Here's Russell Quinn from Rodeo, California. Sheriff Russell Quinn from Rodeo, California. And here's what he says about the ordinances in Rodeo, California.
Our ordinance particularly prohibits riding the skateboard in the roadways in the community and on the sidewalks in commercial areas to avoid a major accident. We're trying to avoid a major injury or perhaps even a fatality. That's our main interest.
Thanks for watching my segment of Cutaway. I'll be back next week with the Thanksgiving special on turkeys and skateboards. Until then, skate safe and see ya. Bye, kids.
Emmett lives at the Wilbur Street Art Gallery and always has something interesting to show us. He'll be on next time with some local film folks that he works with.
You're watching Cutaway. This is kind of like the special end-of-the-year show, you might say. And I'm Mike Williams, and he's Brett Dixon, one of our newest members of Cutaway. So, Brett, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I go to Royal High School. I enjoy going to concerts and skiing and stuff like that. And I brought a little friend of mine today. I'd like to show you. Her name is Tara. She's a rat. And she's kind of camera shy, as you can tell. Mike, would you like to hold her?
Oh, sure, Brett. Tara, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Cutaway rat or what?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Think about that. I'm sure on the next Best Of show I'll have some features to share. But Mike, what is your the best feature that you did? What do you think is your best feature?
Well, Brett, in November, I went out to San Francisco where I met an up-and-coming rock group, the Uptones. They gave me an exclusive interview, and I feel this is probably one of my favorite stories which I did for Cutaway.
38 dead when the cops bash heads in Johannesburg today. And the bombs go off in Hamburg and in Libya and Bombay. War in the streets.
In 1984, without an album or video, and with most of the bands barely out of high school, the highly political Uptones from Berkeley sold out the 1,400-seat Kabuki Auditorium. This year, after a summer of regrouping and intact with only 4 of the original members, the band is stronger than ever, playing an infectious sound of funk, ska, reggae, and rock. We caught the band recently at the Stone in San Francisco. They had just finished recording a new single. Ben Eastwood, bass player for the band.
The whole situation in the band has just improved 100-fold in the past 2 months. The new tunes are really, really very strong, and we've written a lot of songs lately. We feel real creative, and the juices within the band are just flowing really strongly right now, and so we're coming out stronger than ever.
Eric Dinwiddie, one of the original members of the band, describes the style of the music the band plays.
The band plays a style of music which I will refuse to make any attempt at describing, because it is better for you who is listening and looking at me right now to come and check it out, because we play some straight-ahead, honest music with real instruments. We don't use computers. We sing about issues that are relevant today.
The band just finished recording a single. Charles Stella, who does guitar and vocals for the band, says the 2 songs represent where the band is now.
The Outback and Miles Away are the name of the songs, and they represent basically where the band is. So, look for that, and basically we're going to bust out very hard very soon.
Musically, we've already, I think, arrived at a style which is uniquely our own. Unquestionably, we're at our absolute peak, the best we've ever been musically.
We're going to go farther.
And seeing as we were able to go pretty far when we really barely knew how to play, and now we have maintained the energy of the original band and enhanced it tremendously by taking our musicianship to the level which anybody would get to after playing nonstop for 4.5 years.
Just because you are winning, it does not mean that you're right.
The band is about to go on the road. Charles says that's where they are most comfortable.
And that's where we belong. This band is a live band, and we're most comfortable and the happiest when we're on the road with each other, hanging out, and just playing the music.
I feel the band has something very special. The sound they create together is absolutely amazing. By watching the reaction of the audience during their concert, one can only tell they're going to be big.
This next piece is the only new segment on tonight's show. Jose, our video and film man, has a review of The Color of Money.
The never-ending trend of sequels is the one thing that the film industry is not ready to put to rest. As more and more are released every year, it seems that the industry is happier putting out a sequel to a previous successful film than to try out a new formula. It's true, not all films are worthy of a sequel, especially some of today's so-called box office smashers. Films that seem to be made with the interest to please the producer's pocket, not the audience. But not all of them are to be put on the studio's basement, along with the ones that should have never been made. And the exceptions always seem to shine right through. Paul Newman finds himself once again playing the role of Fast Eddie, which won him an Academy Award nomination for the 1961 classic, The Hustler.
What you got here?
Vincent,
Hey, Julian, I just want your best game.
This time around, in Martin Scorsese's The Color of Money. I must admit, I wasn't expecting much from yet another sequel. But Newman's combination with the somewhat brainless Vince Lauria, finally played by Tom Cruise, works rather well.
No?
Fast Eddie, who is now retired from the game, so he says, and with a few more years on his back, and a whole lot of experience on the game that he would like to pass on to Lauria.
Stalker. 9 balls?
The combination works well, but the trio, Vince's determined girlfriend, works even better. And with an interesting soundtrack and some very stylish pool scenes, The Color of Money is simply recommendable. For Cutaway, this is Jose Agustin.
You can see The Color of Money at your local theaters. May be quite difficult though, since the holiday movies have already come out. But if you check your local listings, you might be able to find it.
Next on the special Best Of show, Mike has a video that he edited himself. Mike?
Baby Tigers. The first thing I edited. It was a lot of fun, and we brought it back for you to view once again. And here it is.
Mommy had a little baby. There he is, fast asleep. He's just a little plaything. Why not wake him up? Cute, cute little baby, little feet, little toes. Now he's coming to me, crawl across the kitchen floor. Baby, baby, please let me hold him. I wanna make him stay up all night. Sister, sister, he's just a plaything. We wanna make him stay up all night. Yeah, we do.
So far, we've done 2 theme shows. Our Christmas show, which you just may have already seen, and our Halloween show.
So next, let's take a second look at a montage of Halloween partying that was shown at our Halloween special.
My name's Emmett Cadigan, here on the Wilbur Street steps, and Mr. Pumpkin. How you doing, Mr. Pumpkin? Okay. He's doing okay, I'm doing okay.
Today's Halloween, and the malls are all decorated in orange and black. But people aren't exactly in a mad rush getting ready for tonight. Their costumes range from simple and inexpensive to complex and hundreds of dollars. They're styled after comic book characters, horror stars, and the classics, like witches, ghosts, vampires, werewolves, etc. I'm going to a party and got my costume all ready, raring to go.
Rocky gives you a shell to come out of. A lot of people are very shy when they start out in Rocky, and then they get dressed up like this or like John here, and they come out of the shell, they're more outgoing, and it's helped us.
And here's our special Cutaway pumpkin, and
Filled with treats.
so it's sunny. God, the kids are going to be coming around any time now, so I'll make this story brief. Well, me being very embarrassed and perhaps not too rich and not too innovative, wore just the store-bought costume with the little, I think it was a skeleton. I was a skeleton, and what happened was, my little face mask, the elastic band broke, which was tragedy when you're a little kid.
You've been watching the best of Cutaway, and tonight you've seen what we feel our best stories are.
We would like you to help us find some local stories and features to cover. It's easy to get in touch with the Bay Area Media Co-op by contacting this cable station or by contacting me or Mike.
And other than the stories you're going to share with us, we have a lot of up-and-coming video which we're looking forward to share with you, such as Brett taking us on a trip to Haight-Ashbury of San Francisco.
And Mike has a story on Angel Island and hopes to get an interview with the magicians Penn and Teller.
Yes, and that should be very exciting. So thanks for joining us here on the Best Of Show. It's a good bet that we'll be back in 9 more weeks with another version.
So in the meantime, join us here every week at this time on this channel. For Cutaway, I'm Brett Dixon and Tara, and have a Happy New Year.
And I'm Mike Williams. I want you to have a very special 1987.